Today, I want to take you behind the scenes of my 7-figure business called Creators Training. We have 20 employees. I know scaling a business can be a challenging and lonely journey. I totally get it. And I really want to just show you a real life example of what I do on a daily basis to bring some transparency in the online business world, because you see these gurus online making like I made $1 million this month and like 100K a month, and like you feel like, oh, you're not doing the right things. So I want to show you what it actually takes on a daily basis to get to 100K a month and scale your business. Because I have gone from zero working as a banana girl selling bananas in a grocery store to actually owning a 7-figure company, making 100K every single month with 20 employees. Let's jump into it. This is one day in my life on a Sunday. And I usually wake up at 6 a.m., 6:30, depending on if I get a good sleep or not. Sleep is super important to me because your performance is directly impacted on how much sleep you're getting in a night. I try to sleep 8 to 9 hours every single night, and I'm really strict on this. So a routine is super important. So I wake up in the morning. The first thing I do is actually go get a coffee. I know I'm a little bit addicted to coffee, and I know it's a bad habit, but I really can't live without it. I tried, but I'm not going back. So then I usually read a book. Currently, I'm reading The Fourth Turning. I try to educate myself the first thing in the morning. Why? Because this is when your brain has the most capacity to learn things. This is when your brain is the freshest. So the first thing you want to do and train your brain is to learn and do the hard shit. So I usually start reading a little bit in the morning. And if I can't, I start listening to a podcast. So after I get up, I get ready, start listening to my podcast while I make coffee. Then I usually clean my dirty bike seat because it rains a lot in Bali. I don't have time to buy myself a helmet. So I literally fixed this helmet with tape that I bought in a mini-mart store. And yeah, I've been driving around like this the past 3 months. First thing that I want to give you on the way is, if you don't necessarily have to do tasks that are annoying, like cooking, repairing things, then don't do it. With that, I also go to the gym every single day. Sometimes I'm not going, but I try to go every single day. So that's super important. And I feel if I don't go to the gym, I actually feel very shit, and I know my performance goes down. So I need to have physical activity, because literally all day, and you'll see in just a second, that I spend all day at my fucking desk. So that's my first thing. The morning routine is super important for clarity and focus, to set you up for the day and make sure you get maximum potential out of yourself. And here I come back from the gym, put my sweater on, get my computer ready to work, and I'm gonna make another coffee because I'm super tired and I have to prepare for a meeting. And I also am waiting for my food. I ordered an omelette. But yeah, let's make a coffee. Coffee is ready. I don't know if it's the best idea to drink coffee now because I'm actually a little bit sick. I already feel better today, but I'm a little bit sick. Yeah, just a quick reminder that if you own your own business, you can't really take days off. Regardless, I don't really want to take any days off. I'm kind of mad that I'm a little bit sick. I'm still trying to push through it because I have a big project coming up for our clients, and I just want to get them all to 100K in the month of March. So yeah, there's no time for sleeping or being sick. And yeah, let's go upstairs and get to work. Now that I have my coffee, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of what I actually do. By now, it's probably about 9 a.m. That's when I start my work day. Sometimes I work at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. But usually I start at 9 and work from 9 till, I try to just work 9 hours, but it usually goes to 9 to 9. So you actually work more, or should be working more, if you want to grow your business fast, because the world is competitive. My office is literally a mess. And so dark. Only have this window here. And my lights are broken. Ow. Turning on this video light to get a little light in here. All right, a little bit better. And now let's clean up this mess so I can focus. My toothbrush is here too. Basically living in my office. Now I start my day out by checking all my Slack messages. So if you have a big team, and they are all online, your communication is key. So the first thing you want to do is check every message, everything that's going on, prioritize your day, and read through what is important and what might not be important, and put it into a daily timeline. So that way you can make sure everything is moving quick, because in the online marketing space, the only advantage you have is being quick, because everyone else is good, everyone else is fast. So if you're not fast and you're wasting time on that, you're probably not going to make it. So that's one of my first principles: communication and speed of getting things moving forward. And specifically on this Sunday, I actually started out reviewing job applicants for a tech support role that we are hiring. So I was coaching Lydia, who is our customer success, on how to hire. So that's her first time hiring for this role, and we want to make sure we find a culture fit. So that's super important. That's why I spend so much time on this. We really try to emphasize A-player culture. So what I recommend you, if you are hiring and you're like, oh, why am I not at 6 figures, 7 figures a year yet? It's because your team is average, and that's why you spend so much time hiring and figuring out your core values. And if you haven't watched my video on core values, this is the most important thing, so click up here if you want to watch it. And after I reviewed all these applicants, I actually went to move forward with a little cry attack that I have on a daily basis or weekly basis, definitely on a monthly basis. So some days are really good, some days are really bad, where you have self-doubt, you don't know if you're doing the right thing or if you are not good enough. And I mean, that never goes away. Like, people might look at me like, oh, she has it all together, but I really don't feel like it. Like, I'm just trying to make it in this world. So if you feel that way, just know this will be a continuous part of growth. Like, you will always cry. You will always feel like, oh, I'm not good enough, until you reach the next level, where next time you do the same task, you're like, oh my God, I feel like I can actually do it now. And that's the amazing part of growth. And that's also what you need to really embrace, these moments where you're crying and feel stuck, because that's where usually something happens. That's where momentum comes. That's where growth happens. And that is why I can tell you, if you ever feel this way, just know times are getting better, and the only thing you need to do is keep doing what you're doing and don't stop. The next thing I did on this Sunday is actually review a project. So usually when you work in your company, you want to have monthly, quarterly goals and KPIs and OKRs, so that you can get projects moving forward and everyone is aligned. So I'm actually working on client templates, design templates that I give to my clients, so their life is much easier and they can give those to their clients to make 3, 5, 10K per client. And that's what I spend probably most of my time with. And it's annoying, because I work with people from India, for example, and they're really, really good, or Pakistan, they're really, really good, but just the communication, again, it has to be a different tone than when you work with someone from the US, for example. You really need to rigorously follow up every single day and ask for, hey, can I get this done in 24 hours? Can I get this in 5 hours? Can we get this done by tomorrow? This is the deadline. This is the thing we need to do now. It's very important to do that, and sadly this took up a lot of my time the past month. I think it's not a high value task to manage this, so I'm actually looking to find someone who can take over, that I can train on this, so I can focus more of my time on revenue generating activities. And that is probably the third thing that I would give you on the way if you're scaling your business or want to scale your online business. Do not spend your time with low level tasks, and make sure you spend most of your time with things that are actually revenue generating, like getting more leads, sales, marketing. So after that, I talked to my teammate Lydia, and we hopped on a quick huddle to talk about the hiring, and I gave you feedback on how to hire and some sales psychology to get people sold. And I actually told her, don't be too nice on your interviews, because if you are, people are not going to respect your culture, and you're giving away too much of what you're trying to get out of them. So for example, if I want to know if they are a hard worker, I wouldn't tell them on an interview, oh, I'm asking this question because I want to know how hard you work because we're an A-player team. I wouldn't say that. I would just ask, all right, cool, so what are you doing on a daily basis to get your work done? And that way I can kind of see how do they structure their day, what do they do. So the fourth thing is give feedback, constant feedback. If you have a team, very important. That's how your team improves. And your main goal as a leader, I would say, I wouldn't even consider myself that. I'm not perfect at all, I'm still learning, but the main goal should be to get someone as good as you in the shortest amount of time, and then make them better than you. So that's how you really know you have succeeded in your role as a leader or CEO or manager, whatever you want to call it. The next thing that I do on a Sunday is usually content or videos just like this one. I'm not spending much time on this. I'm editing a little bit. I'm filming. This is the video about how I handle objections on sales calls. I think in general, sales is something, if you're not at 6-7 figures yet and you don't know what high ticket sales is or don't know what a sales script is, this is something you need to know in order to get to the next level. So if you're at like 10K, 20K a month, this is something you need to know to level up. And if you're at 2 or 3K, this is something mandatory to learn. I can tell you right now that every great company had a brilliant sales team or a brilliant salesperson and a brilliant marketer. Then today I actually had a call with my DM sales team, which is currently 5 people. I had to sadly let 2 people go because they weren't performing on KPI, and that's something I want to emphasize. If you don't have a job scorecard or KPI list, you can watch this video up here to know how I set it up. But this is what you hold people accountable for, and this is how you generate or get a team of A players to perform on your company. And then I hop on a call with them, giving them motivation, just being there for them to make sure they perform. Now, this is really important because like I said, I had to let 2 people go, and this will happen once you scale. But not everyone is an A player. So what you really want to do is do your best at setting clear expectations. And when they are not performing, you know you did everything in your power and we're really clear with them that this is what you expect and they just can't reach it, even though you give them the training, the resources, anything they need to get there, then it's just not a good culture fit. At this point, it's probably already afternoon and I actually got a bunch of orders for Leilani. So I like to pack my own orders sometimes and just quality control my jewelry that is handmade by my girl here in Indonesia. She has an amazing family that I support. Like, I know her since like years now, and it's just beautiful to see her have work. Even through COVID, it was really hard for most Balinese families to get through it. They didn't have money, and I'm just so grateful for all my Leilani customers that they have been supporting the family that I support here with Leilani shells and also just coral restoration. So I did that in the afternoon, quickly packed it, super cute, and then at this point it's probably like late night and I'm just looking at my computer here to not forget the timeline what I'm doing, but I'm showing you right here a quick view of how my kitchen looks like on a daily basis. We have a cleaner every single day. Like I said earlier, it's super important to outsource tasks that are not revenue generating. So we have a cleaner every day except for Sunday. And this is my downfall. This is horrible because as you can see, the kitchen is a mess, and yeah, I'm probably not doing my girlfriend wife duties here, but I really have things that are more important than that. And yeah, this is the reality of being an entrepreneur. And then I usually keep working with my boyfriend at night, talking or debriefing on things we want to get done. And it's really like a hobby. It's not like, oh, I need to do this. It's like, I want to talk about this. I want to like see what we can do. It's like little Lego pieces that you build on each other. And the more you build, the better it gets. And then I end the day with my infrared blue light mask because yeah, I'm a little bit addicted to skincare stuff. And then after I'm done with that, I read a book because again, what you do at night before you go to sleep, that's where you train your brain to subconsciously create habits. So without a lot of effort, if you, for example, that's what I did when I was at school and doing like math class or math tests, I would literally go to bed, not look at my phone, nothing else, read my math paper or I don't know, English paper or whatever, remember things, vocabularies, back then I think it was vocabulary tests or whatever, and then I would read it, go to bed, put it under my pillow. The next morning I had the test and I knew everything because the last thing you see or do gets ingrained into your brain where you subconsciously just remember it. So try it out. I want to see if it works for you as well. Let me know in the comments. The moral of the story, embrace your ups and downs and never ever ever lose sight of your why. Prioritize your business, prioritize the work that you put in, prioritize revenue generating tasks and push through when times get hard and look for support. For example, make sure that you have a friend that you can talk to when times get rough. Thanks for watching, and now go get to work and stop watching YouTube, stop scrolling on Instagram, stop scrolling on TikTok, get your ass to work.